Alderman McGee. Alderman Carr.
Here.
Alderman Roll.
Here.
Alderman Johnson.
Here.
Alderman Montoya.
Here.
Alderman Ruthenberg.
Here.
Alderman Fairwell. Five present.
It was forum, need a motion to approve city council minutes from July 22nd, 2025. Is there a motion? Motion by Alderman Carr, second by Alderman Roll on the question. Clerk, please do the roll call.
Alderman McGee, Alderman Carr.
Aye.
Alderman Roll.
Aye.
Alderman Johnson.
Aye.
Alderman Montoya.
Aye.
Alderman Ruthenberg.
Aye.
Five present.
Public carries. We're going to open up public comment. As a reminder, the public comment period is not a time for dialogue. The purpose of the public comment period is for the mayor and aldermen of the city to receive input from their community. It is in fact a one-way communication to the city council. The city's administration and department heads are available for discussion after the meeting. For any public comment?
Your Honor, City Council meeting, thank you for letting me be here this evening. My name is Thomas Madrigal. I live at 13427th Street, Mozart, Illinois. I'm not gonna say too much because we have to honor Malcolm Reverend Contreras. But I'd just like to mention something where I live at the end of the block. There's a lot of dust coming from that business, scrap business. And not only that, I think there's a lot of stuff on the ground there on 135th Street, trucks drop, so forth. So I was wondering if possible, because city could have a street that, sweep that street 135th regularly, because I don't want to get a flat tire. But again, last Tuesday we had a nice National Lights Out. Had a lot of people, it was really nice. Thanks for the city putting out that program for us. Thank you, that's what I have to say.
Thank you.
City Council, I'm Alan Cromwell, co-owner and manager of the Blue Island Beer Company. The last week, we have had a lot of social media activity. And I wanted to say that we have come to some clarity with the city of Blue Island and our building, and are looking forward to working on the new redevelopment of it down on Old Western Avenue. It was very unfortunate, some of the things that were said by the public, but we had a lot of support for our business, which was very flattering to see. And I look forward to the next few months, seeing what's going to happen and bringing all the other great businesses also to Old Western Avenue that we've got to see really be redeveloped in the last 5 years, let alone the 10 years that we've been there, and got to host so many great people from our community. So I appreciate the chance to speak to you today. Thank you.
Thank you. Any other public comment?
Buenas tardes. Yo vengo de parte de todos los residentes de Forest View. Pedimos que los costos de mudanza sean cubiertos de parte de los dueños de la ciudad, proveer lugar donde piensan mandar a los residentes, dejar de repartir avisos de intimidación, desalojo a todos los residentes. Están imponiendo intimidar miedo. También no queremos que se nos paguen $5,000 para los costos de mudanza. Exigimos una compensación justa para todos los residentes. Durante todos los años anteriores de residentes fueron diligentes con sus pagos de renta, arreglos de trailers. Tenemos documentos y récord de esto. Ya firme en la decisión de movernos, pues los encargados, sus dueños son responsables de tener los recursos y la compensación para los hogares y residentes. Último, demandamos que los valores de todos los hogares sean pagados justos, con mayoría de las trailers y familias que están muchas trailers están en muy buenas condiciones, otras no, pero pues que sea negociado y pues justo. Muchísimas gracias por la oportunidad que me dieron de hablar.
Hi, my name is Julie. I'm one of the residents in Forest View, and I'll be reading Ms. Angelica's comment in English. And basically, she's a resident of Forest View Mobile Home Park for the past 12 years. She was given, or we're given a chance to speak on her behalf. On behalf of the residents living within Forest View Mobile Home Park, we ask that the cost of relocation is covered in full by the owners of the park, and we would like for the city to help us with this as residents of Blue Island. We would also ask the owners and or city provide the residents with location, and relocations safely to other areas in the neighborhood. We ask that the city and the owners to stop sending payment eviction notices via servers and sheriffs, as these notices inflict fear, mental issues, or well-being within residents. Nothing is being solved. All notices should be translated in both English and Spanish, and we're only getting notices in English. The mentioned amount by the city of 5,000 is not enough to cover relocations for each resident. We ask that compensation for each resident is fair. During the past years, residents have been diligent in lot rent and the upkeeping of their trailers and properties. Not all trailers are trashed. We are aware that some are not in good conditions. As the decision is firm in relocation eviction of residents and closing the park, the owners should be responsible in providing financial aid and resources along with proper compensation for residents. Finally, the value of our homes should be considered as majority of the residents' mobile homes. Mobile homes, again, are in good standing, and we have spent money to keep it in good standing. Thank you.
All right, good evening, Mayor, and also to our council members. Again, my name is Ali Clements, representative of Mission Covenant Church here in Blue Island. I want to say thank you sincerely for everyone's participation as we received support for our back to school party that was hosted for the neighborhood. And then also we had our Blue Island Crusade. And I'm very happy Mr. Rothenberger was instrumental in helping us have a wonderful day. The mayor came out to visit with us along with our clerk, Ms. Rianne Zellman, so we really appreciate your support for that. And also we, as a group there at Mission Covenant Church, were delighted to be a part of the National Night Out. And so hopefully I'll be passing on pictures of those dinosaurs, the activities the children worked on with their parents, and we would love to join you again for next year. Thank you so very much for bringing together the community and involving the government. And also we have State Representative Robert Vita help with our school supplies, so I thank him sincerely as well. Take care.
Any other public comments?
This is a statement on behalf of the residents of Forest View Mobile Home Park that myself and Mr. Cervantes had worked on. I guess everyone right now is feeling the economic pinch of inflation, things cost a little bit more, right? We have to tighten our spending, but like imagine if you're living paycheck to paycheck and supporting 4 young children and your elderly parents, but you've saved enough to buy a mobile home. It's not much, but you're proud of it, right? It represents years of investment. And it will also ensure that your housing costs stay low because you only have to pay the lot rent that it's on. You're a good tax-paying citizen of your city and an upright member of your community in a nice city just south of Chicago. But one day the city comes in and closes the park you were living in, citing health and safety concerns and revoking the permits to use land for housing, right? Your home, which could have housed your family for the next 10 years, is unable to be moved and slated for demolition. And you wonder where you and your young children and elderly parents can possibly go for what you can afford in rent. Their biggest investment is gone and the 10-year plan for their family's security is destroyed. This is the situation faced by more than 300 of your citizens, a number that represents approximately 1.4% of the population of Blue Island, Illinois. These are your friends, their neighbors, and your constituents. They're good, hardworking people whose lives are being derailed and their families' futures are set for demolition. the Forest View Mobile Home Park, is being closed by the actions of the city of Blue Island. There's more than 84 homes there that will be demolished and more than 800 people, many of them elderly children and disabled individuals with no other viable options for affordable housing in this community. So we asked the city council to care about its vulnerable residents. And that some of you have shown concern for the situation already, but if this is not the way, the city that you represent, the way that you treat your friends, your neighbors, your fellow citizens, the least among you, then please don't turn a blind eye to this situation and support these families. Thank you.
Public comment? Now moving on to private.
Okay, hello everyone. My name is Eddie Gallegos and I will be making a comment as a community member born and raised in Blue Island. I have gotten to get to know the residents of the Forest View Trailer Park through this real tragedy that is happening to them due to the negligence of Forest View Trailer Park management. You know, for their lack of upkeep and safe conditions, they are now being asked to leave and have also actively been turned away from other trailer parks in the area because of a lot of the bad press that it's getting, and also being harassed and being told and added extra fees unnecessarily during this time period where they don't know where they're going to be able to live next. And it's really unfortunate to me as a community member, as someone who was born here in St. Francis. You know, the hospital also has closed, and it pains me because Blue Island is very much a a family community, right? Where many people raise their families. It's a very safe place. It's very reliable with its schools, and I think I asked the city council, the legal proceedings that are happening to really consider giving more support to the residents that are being impacted. Over 50 trailers are being impacted by this, and majority of them being families that include children, which this, as we all know, moving is always going to be a hard thing to do, but especially when you're uncertain about where you're going to live next and about the support that you're getting compensation wise. And just as a reference, you know, to move trailers at times, you're looking at 20K in fees. So 5K, you know, is not really enough, especially considering that a lot of them are families. So I do just ask, you know, the community of Blue Island to support these residents in this time period where it's really uncertain, and I think that they should be getting more backing and support so they're not left to be confused and fend for themselves essentially. So thank you.
Under new business, we have motion to approve payroll dated August 1st, 2025, $473. That's $74 for the cents. The motion, Alderman Carson, Alderman Roll on the question. Clerk, please do the roll call.
Alderman McGee,
Aye.
Alderman Carr,
Aye.
Alderman Roll,
Aye.
Alderman Johnson,
Aye.
Alderman Montoya.
Aye.
Alderman Ruthenberg.
Aye.
6 ayes, Your Honor.
Carries. Under B, a motion to approve accounts payable dated August 13th, 2025, amount of $623, $358.63. Motion. Alderman Clerk, second Alderman McGee on the question. Clerk, please do the roll call.
Alderman McGee,
Aye.
Alderman Carr,
Aye.
Alderman Roll,
Aye.
Alderman Johnson,
Aye.
Alderman Montoya, Alderman Ruthenberg.
Aye.
6 ayes, Your Honor.
Motion carries. Under C, a resolution of the city of Blue Island, the county of Illinois, authorizing approving the renewal of our liquor liability insurance for the Meadows Golf Club of Blue Island. Is there a motion? Motion by Alderman Johnson, second by Alderman. Question. Alderman Roll. Oh, no, sorry, there's a second. Roll call.
Alderman McGee,
Aye.
Alderman Carr,
Aye.
Alderman Roll,
Aye.
Alderman Johnson,
Aye.
Alderman Montoya.
Aye.
Alderman Ruthenberg.
Aye.
6 ayes, Your Honor.
Under D, a resolution for the city of Blue Island, County of Illinois, authorizing and approving a contract with the service gate in the city of Blue Island. Just for clarity, the last time I kind of, had to put in a 1-year extension, they agreed to make some repairs that we've been asking for several years. So I'm comfortable enough allowing the contract to go through. So we're asking for the back. Need a motion, Alderman Ruthenberg, for second, Alderman Keating on the question. Is there, what is the, what is the formal, three readings? Questions? Clerk, please do the roll call.
Alderman McGee.
Aye.
Alderman Carr.
Aye.
Alderman Roll.
Aye.
Alderman Johnson.
Aye.
Alderman Montoya.
Aye.
Alderman Ruthenberg.
Aye.
6 ayes.
Under E, just asking for a liaison, I don't need an answer right now. The Progress Center that is located here in town for ADA accessibility has asked to form an ad hoc committee. I met with them last week. We thought it was a good idea to have a representative from the city council. You have to let me know now what you think about it. If you'd like to be that person, let me know. They're gonna reach out to several different other bodies, the park district, library, so on, the school districts. And I'd like to one more alderman to volunteer. Please let me know if you're interested in. They're not gonna have meetings all the time, but they wanna form this committee. So think about that. Any further questions, feel free to reach out. Under F, resolution for the city of Blue Island, for County, Illinois, honoring the life and legacy of Reverend Peter Valentine Contreras. I'm gonna read this into the record. Resolution number 2025-033, a resolution honoring the life and legacy of Reverend Peter Valentine Contreras. Whereas Reverend Peter Contreras has led a life of extraordinary faith, leadership, and service that profoundly impacted the city of Blue Island and communities across the nation. And whereas Reverend Contreras was ordained in 1965 at Bethel Pentecostal Church in Blue Island, Illinois, where he transformed a small congregation of 10 families to a vibrant, influential church. And whereas his spiritual leadership, including rebuilding Bethel Church after its destruction by arson in 1968, planting churches in other cities, pioneering vacation Bible school outreach, founding the Bethel Church Choir, which recorded 3 albums and traveled nationally, and overseeing a major church expansion completed in just 50 days. And whereas Reverend Contreras demonstrated remarkable stewardship and leadership by paying off the church's mortgage in 2 years and continually investing in the growth and vitality of his congregation. And whereas Reverend Contreras founded Bethel Bible Institute, later known as the Latin American Bible Institute, LBA, to train pastors and leaders and advocate for bilingual education in Blue Island and across Illinois, serving as the chairman of the Illinois Bilingual Program Advisory Council and the state evaluation team for bilingual initiatives. And whereas Reverend Contreras was a dedicated public servant, serving a total of 14 years on Cook County School District 130 School Board, including as president, volunteering as the police chaplain of the Blue Island Police Department. And whereas he actively contributed to civic life by serving on the board of directors of St. Francis Hospital and helping bring CETA, Community and Economic Development Association, to Blue Island to provide essential social services. And whereas Reverend Contreras passionately pursued local and international missions, leading outreach efforts such as Kid Cop Day, youth trips to Miracle Valley, and mentoring generations of young pastors. And whereas Reverend Contreras built a God-centered family with his loving wife Phyllis, raising 4 children, Clara, Peter III, Jonathan, and Audrey, while living a personal life marked by integrity, faith, and perseverance. And whereas Reverend Contreras' legacy is defined by his resilience in adversity, visionary leadership despite limited resources, and steadfast faithfulness to God and community over more than 6 decades of ministry. Now, therefore, be it resolved by the mayor and the city council for the city of Blue Island, Cook County, Illinois, that the city of Blue Island formally honors and recognizes the remarkable life, achievements, and legacy of Reverend Peter Valentine Contreras, his contributions to faith, education, civic service, and community outreach have left an indelible mark on our city and beyond, and that a copy of this resolution be presented to Reverend Contreras as a token of our city's deepest gratitude and respect. But the resolution shall be entered in the official records for the city of Blue Island. We can make a motion to put it into the record. Motion by Alderman Roll, second by Alderman Johnson. All in favor, say aye. Aye. Thank you. I'm going to present this to the Reverend. And we'd like to take some photographs, correct? Sure. I've known Reverend Contreras my entire life, and he's always been a big supporter of the city, big supporter of me, and many other people that have grew up in the same neighborhood as this church, including myself.
Okay,
And it's been a big honor for me to attend your party and present this to you.
thank you.
So
Family members, if you would like to come up and take a picture, you're more than welcome.
I think I'm gonna have Reverend say a few words first. Yeah. Bring us over.
I don't know why I was born and raised here. I was born on Hoyt Street, actually, but that Little League Park. Went to school here, Whittier, junior high, Eisenhower. Went out to college in Southern Arizona. And I never wanted to pastor in Blue Island. That was the last place I wanted to do. I had an opportunity to go to South America, to Mexico. But one day God spoke to my heart, says, go back to Blue Island. I said, I'll go for a little bit. 60 years ago. I was just retired just at the 22nd mayor was there. A lot of my family and friends. I finished passing the man taking my picture of chirping. This is our new pastor, Pastor Silvano Castillo. So when he comes around, that's the man that I want you to honor as much as you have me, and you have honored me. I go way back. And Blue Island's always seemed to be good. In fact, I travel quite a bit. And people say, where are you from? I says, from Blue Island, where the natives are friendly. I'd like to take this time also to thank the city, the council, those that are responsible for fixing our streets. I know we have work to do, but I live off of Greenwood Street. That was a battle. And now I tell my wife, I can't believe it's the same street. Mayor and folks, thank you very much. I thank you from myself and in behalf of our community. The reason my voice is like it is, I had a struggle. I was in a hospital for a month. An infection in the ear. They done surgery and they cut behind the ear. But the infection had reached the bones. So they had me under medication for a month. Man, it affected my vocal cord. The doctor said it paralyzed my vocal cord. And that's why I sound the way I sound. I was telling my ENT doctor, I said, I gotta get that thing fixed. He says, why? I says, I'm a singer. I'm not making no money. Anyway, I love to sing, but I've never made money off of singing. But you honor me, and I thank you. I thank you for, like I said in my town, that back in the 60s, in the newspaper, there was an article. Somebody had put that the reason why I was doing everything I'm doing, because I wanted to run for mayor. I was 61 years old then. I said, that's the last thing on my mind. I remember Mr. Rita, John, he was my buddy, come to my house one day. He said, Reverend, why don't you run for alderman? I said, John, we're friends, aren't we? Yeah. I said, John, if you say something I disagree with, I will tell you right up. And why don't we just stay friends? I said, John did a lot for us in our church. When we bought that property where we're president now, we had no service at all. But when you got off of Broadway, it was a lake. There was no sewers, no fire hydrant, nothing. But first of all, thank you. John's with the Lord now, but thank you, John, for helping us. And the city's been good to us. And I just want to be good to our city. And my prayers for our community. And every year after Columbine, remember Columbine, where they kill all those kids in that school? I've been doing prayer services at the high school outside. In fact, I invite you all this Sunday at 1:30 at the Eisenhower deck. And in fact, we should all come together, just bow our heads and say, Lord, thank you. God's been good to us. Thank God for a beautiful wife. She's been up with me for 62 years, believe it or not. I was a baby when I got married, so that's why I look so young. You know, I want to shut up, because somebody once said, never give a microphone to a Pentecostal preacher. God bless you.
Thank you. And if any, we'll take a small recess, and I'm sure Reverend would like to take some pictures.
Thank you.
We'll do it now. Finish up the agenda now.
Okay, go ahead.
We're under agenda item G, and hopefully this addresses to, as a brought up today, as it's overweight vehicles in Vine, California, Mozart, Francisco, 135th, I'm addressing not allowing overweight vehicles on side streets in the residential neighborhood. All right. So under G, it's an ordinance to set weight limits on the residential streets around the new, development of 135th in California. Do we need a motion? Alderman Roll, second by Alderman Johnson on the question.
That's for whole city, who lives on side streets.
No, it is for Vine, California, Mozart, Francisco, and 135th. We did a few of them like a year ago, like Division. I'm not, this is just that area right now. Any other questions? Was there? We gotta look into it.
Well, yeah, that's what I was gonna say.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was gonna say the same thing, Mayor, because, you know, I have like trucks, parkings in my ward next to residential areas as well. So,
That's
Alright.
Alderman Johnson just sent me a list of the streets that he wanted to.
thank you.
Clerk, please do the roll call.
Alderman McGee.
Aye.
Alderman Carr.
Aye.
Alderman Roll.
Aye.
Alderman Johnson.
Aye.
Alderman Montoya.
Aye.
Alderman Ruthenberg.
Aye.
6 ayes, your honor.
All right, next we have H, an ordinance, for the city of Wyoming, Illinois, amending chapter 150 building regulations, historical homes.
Yeah, that's what it's.
So in past practice, we're just adding that one sentence in here. Past practice, historical homes that are registered historical homes within the city or within a historical district, which would be right now only Northwestern, but basically any house with a plaque on it, that they're exempt from certain exterior modern codes that would derail the historical look of the house. In the past, we've just allowed it, but because we're following everything to the T, we had to add the sentence in here. Historic properties or properties within the historic district for the city of Blue Island need not comply with the requirements set in section 1014 of the 2021 International Health Code. About handrails. So historical homes do not have handrails. The owner has a plaque, and it's a registered historical home, doesn't want to put a handrail up, they don't have to. Their liability, but it gives them the authority to do it. Any, we need a motion. Motion on the roll, second by Alderman McGee on the question. Clerk, please, the roll call.
Alderman McGee.
Aye.
Alderman Carr.
Aye.
Alderman Roll.
Aye.
Alderman Johnson.
Aye.
Alderman Montoya.
Aye.
Alderman Ruthenberg.
Aye.
6 ayes, your honor.
Under I, it's not ready to be voted on, but we'll be talking about it in executive session. Under the next one, we have a motion to award.
They do have a presentation.
Yeah, for presentation, we're still gonna talk about it in executive session. So. Let me get this last motion, and then you can talk.
Okay,
All right, motion to award the Irving Avenue Community Block Grant Resurfacing Project to M&J Asphalt Paving. Maybe fit on this. We had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 bidders. Lowest bidder was M&J Asphalt at $462,692.45. This is resurface Irving Avenue, South 119th Street, and paid for by the contractor.
Have we used the new tag?
No, but they've done a lot of work. For check them out, they said they had a good relationship. And they attended the meetings, I attended the meeting too, so how do we spell? Is there a motion? Alderman Johnson, second by Alderman McGee on the question. Clerk, please do the roll call.
Alderman McGee.
Aye.
Alderman Carr.
Aye.
Alderman Roll.
Aye.
Alderman Johnson.
Aye.
Alderman Montoya.
Aye.
Alderman Ruthenberg.
Aye.
6 ayes, your honor.
Motion carries, so I'll go back up to, Honor Tracks wants to do it.
Yeah, brief presentation, so, all right, so, council, you probably remember it was about a month ago or so, we had Honor Tracks come into executive session. Since then, we have been diligently working on an arrangement for a new lease, and this is for the brownfield on 119th Street. So just a quick reminder, we've got this very large, about 90 acres of undeveloped property that we've had in the city for some time. It was a landfill for many, many decades. It's capped over now, still requires some environmental remediation, but we've been looking for some time for how we can get this property alive economically again. And so that's where On the Tracks enters. I'll let Chris Teku, and he's got some of his folks here from Denver where they're housed. They're a large operation. They have an idea for this property that largely revolves around not, obviously the restrictions are, it's hard to build on this property, it's possible to build on this property, right, in any meaningful way. So what they have found use for the property and through their clientele is through using it for large scale storage that supports the rail industry, supports intermodal transportation of goods, heavy goods, vehicles, things like that. So I'll let them speak about that a little bit more. We had hoped to have a finalized deal for tonight. Both sides had some attorneys that were out of town over the past week. But we are very close on what we think is going to be a good deal for this property to bring it back to life, a good deal for the city economically, and that creates what we think is going to be a good long-term partnership between the city and Omnitrax. So with that, I'll let Chris Decky and Omnitrax just kind of walk you through what their plans are for their continued involvement in Blue Island. Omnitrax has been involved in Blue Island for in a business level for some time. They've been very generous contributors to things like Blue Cap in the past, so they are kind of aware of, familiar with our community and part of it. But this would obviously represent this lease deal would represent a large expansion of their footprint in our relationship. So with that, I'll turn it over to Chris Decky with Omnitrax.
Chris, right.
Thank you, Council. Thank you, Mayor. My name is Chris Tecky. I work for Omnitrax. We are here tonight to talk about the 90-acre lease that we are proposing and working toward with the city and the council on expanding our operations here in the city of Blue Island. To give you a little background, Omnitrax, we're the third largest privately held short line railroad company in the country. We've got about 32 railroads across North America. One of the railroads that we're a family-owned business. One of the railroads that the family owns is the Sierra, Chicago Rail Link. You constituents drive across it every day. We've been your neighbor and your business partner in this community since 1992. So we're here. What we are planning and what we are looking for approval for through the lease will be a focus on transportation and logistics and the industry serving local and regional jobs. Specifically, we'd like to expand our relationship in the business here with the city, between the city and the CRO. The park will serve regional and local jobs and the industry that goes with them, specifically products that we are looking. Heavy things moved by railway. Things that can't and shouldn't go on the roads. The examples of what we move, if any of you have been down there lately, is we're outgrowing our current facility. It's lumber products for the housing industry. Other things that we move on a national basis, metal products, big coils of copper and steel, bulk commodities, lumber, building materials, roofing shingles, all heavy stuff that you wouldn't want on the roads. We move those with our railroads. We move them all over North America. Our railroad runs right through your site. We're here. We'd like to expand that relationship. And I appreciate the opportunity to be able to come here, answer any questions and see what it is. If there's anything I can answer for you.
And council can ask questions now. I was gonna invite them to executive anyway, to ask back there at the city real estate property, so wherever you're comfortable. Anybody got a question for Beckham? Okay, you gonna stick around for a second?
I can't hear
You
you.
gonna stick around for a few minutes?
Yes, of course.
You might invite you next. All right. Clerk, announcements, sounds.
August 17th, which is next Tuesday, Sunday, August 17th. State Representative Bob Rita will be giving out free ice cream from 2 o'clock to 4 o'clock at York and Western. At 1:30 on Sunday, Reverend Contreras will be blessing all the students that are going back to school at Eisenhower and 127th and Sacramento. Save the date, November 1st is gonna be Day of the Dead. We have a big celebration planned. And the Scarecrow building will begin on October 10th. I personally like to thank everyone who took part in National Night Out, the Blue Island Police Department and their families, the Blue Island Public Works, Blue Island Park District, Blue Island City Hall, Blue Island Fire Department, and Mrs. Slattery for making this year the best year ever. Thank you.
Thank you. City treasurer, we have a few months here.
Hello, everybody. We need a motion to approve the June treasurer's report.
Motion by Alderman Hall, second by Alderman Ruthenberg on the question. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Moving on, we need the
And also, we need a motion to approve the July treasurer's report.
motion. Alderman Carr, second by Alderman McGee, question. All in favor, say aye. Anything else? Okay. City attorney, I know we got executive. City administrator? Executive. Alderman announcements, reports, and comments? Alderman Roll.
Thank you, Mayor. Just had a quick update on the flock camera system. Today I met with Commander Sepisi, Administrator Wogan, and Interim Chief Slattery to review the operation of the flock system and discuss next steps for an internal audit and a subsequent discussion around policy. The plan is to use 16 months worth of usage data to characterize for the council how the system has been used, what the outcomes have been, and what considerations we should undertake to ensure policy which supports our officers while upholding the public's inalienable right to privacy and due process. Our goal following that internal audit should ultimately be to provide a report to the public, which characterizes these very same metrics around efficacy and use, while characterizing the city's policy around flock camera usage. And that we can use to lay a foundation for the data governance policy that I'd like to see us adopt, where we're just codifying these practices and others around data, because it plays an increasingly large role in how the city operates. So next steps, I'm just waiting for an all clear to get the data. And once we have that, there will be an internal discussion where we can review and assess usage and policy going forward. And then on economic development, just had a few comments, unsurprisingly. You know, and primarily it's just that as a city, we find ourselves in relatively new territory. You know, having established and successful businesses that want to do business here, that want to stay here, is a good thing overall and a sign of progress. And I speak from experience when I say that there are some critical ways that business is not like government, especially in the realm of our trying to establish an economic development policy. A lot of businesses evolve to become exceedingly good at their trade. They don't leave their survival or profitability to discretion or chance, and rather rely on well-tested and clearly defined process. And so the further we go on this path, the more sophisticated the processes we're likely to encounter, and the more complex the agreements that we're asked to review, like the one that we've just talked about. This takes increasing amounts of time and money in order to ensure that we as a city are proceeding in a way that is informed, and above all, in a way which honors the interests of the community. And of course, we want to avoid any unnecessary inefficiencies or rework as best we can. So if parties to a business agreement raise a concern, no matter where in the process, it is critical that there be trust and a shared goal of working toward an agreeable resolution. These things happen in business. We are all human. And yet, it should also be clear how a single misstep in communication, a single improperly set expectation or misconsideration, regardless of whether there's fault or not, can imperil what is otherwise a common goal. Some agreements, again, like the one that we are considering, have a lot of complex legal and operational implications. No matter how much time we spend, we are just not going to be as familiar with a given business or industry as the folks that are here to talk to us, to work out an agreement with us. So we don't want perfection to be the enemy of progress, but at the same time, we just need to ensure that in addition to putting our best step forward, that we establish process. That's what we measure against for our own internal purposes as much for any agreements that we would work out with the business.
So, I know this is a common drumbeat. I know we've talked about it quite a bit. I'd like to thank the IPD and the administration, for meeting today, to go over the data. And, Mayor, if we could, for the next cow, just carve out some time for economic development, and to start the block policy discussion for next steps. I can leave those, but I'd recommend we just consider leaving those as placeholders for cow, for the committee. Even if we don't have discussion, for a given month, just so it is an ongoing, process and discussion that we have. Thank you.
You. And Alderman Johnson.
Yeah, I just want to thank everyone who was involved with the National Night Out. I came out, it was a wonderful time, and it was something for everybody and all ages. I just want to just thank the city and everyone that was involved.
Anything else? I guess I always forget, St. Bernard's Carnival, thank you to the police department, fire department, and all the citizens that always supported 120 long years of a tradition continuing, and most likely will still continue. It's a lot of work for a lot of volunteers. So I want to thank our public service, public safety service people that assisted. We had no issues, we usually don't. And thank you our public works for providing assistance in street closures. Thank you.
Yeah, I also would like to say thank you. It was a great week, long weekend, whatever. And there were no problems, no complaints, and it was a wonderful time for everybody. So thank you to all the city employees who helped get that done.
Thank you. Nothing else. We need a motion to adjourn to executive session. Motion by Alderman Roll, seconded by Alderman Johnson. All in favor, say aye. Aye.
No, that's good. Yep.
Who's that? All right. Opening regular session, executive, just forget it. Opening regular session, discuss possible imminent litigation. We need a motion to adjourn. Alderman Johnson, second by Alderman Roll, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Just a reminder, our next